everyone! Welcome to EnnoTana proposal video. Finally! Just as before with the show, I know there are ships that would probably deserve proposal too, and a bit sooner, but yeah, I mean, EnnoTana was coming very much, so here we go. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You're keeping this channel alive and going. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy. 2 weeks had passed since Tanaka noticed the first shifts in Enoshita's behavior. A week since Enoshita asked him whether it was difficult to love him, setting off a set of alarm bells in his head. Given how sensitive Enoshita was in regards to the relationship, a question like that could only mean problems, and it was his responsibility to disperse those doubts resurfacing in his beloved's mind. And the best way to do it was resting in his bedside table's drawer. However, it wasn't as easy as he wished. He gritted his teeth as he slowly descended on one knee, his whole lower half of body aching from the countless previous attempts to get rid of the pain, or at least get used to it enough he wouldn't groan when the moment to propose came. But no matter how much he tried, he still couldn't get on the floor without a hitch. God fucking damn it! What's wrong? With a quiet sigh, Tanaka forced himself to soften his expression and even managed an actual smile over his shoulder. It's fine. Just this exercise is a pain in the ass. Despite his words, Enoshita made a beeline towards him, visibly worried as he laid his hand on Tanaka's knee. You shouldn't overdo it. Take a break. There's no point in rehabilitation if you strain yourself too much. I know. I just want to be able to at least kneel down. He let out a frustrated huff, throwing a nasty glare at his legs. It's been half a year. They could finally start working properly. I know it's difficult, but you can't rush recovery. Especially after... He fell silent suddenly, the pain in his voice almost tangible, and Tanaka quickly pulled him to his chest. He hated recalling the helplessness he felt when his body suddenly refused to listen to him. The fear, the frustration. But he had a suspicion Enoshita took it perhaps even harder than he did. So compared to then, he was in a much better place. Okay, I promise I'll be careful. I definitely don't want to put you through all that again. Me? You were the one in hospital. But you suffered too. Don't think I don't know that you didn't eat or sleep properly the whole beginning. Enoshita stayed silent, confirming Tanaka's words. And so he kissed Enoshita's forehead, more determined than ever before to plan the best proposal he could in his situation. His boyfriend deserved the best, and he was going to make damn sure he got it. However, that turned out to be more difficult than he initially thought, even though his outlook wasn't overly positive to begin with. When he felt like his legs could support him kneeling down without much pain, it wasn't the right moment for a proposal. And when he finally convinced Enoshita he wasn't going to crumble after going on 2 walks a day instead of 1, he could barely limp back home. And on top of that, he ruined any future chances of proposing somewhere outside since Enoshita just became more adamant about sticking to a strict maximum daily activity regime. All in all, a total disaster. This just isn't fair. What do you have against us getting married, universe? He grumbled under his breath, turning the little box in his hands as he tried to think of what to do next. Using the rare moment Enoshita ran out to do something on his day off to ponder his options. He could, of course, just ask Enoshita over a dinner any day, but where was the magic in that? The romance? Proposal was supposed to be a big step in the relationship, so it should be beautiful and well planned. However, no matter how much thought he put into it, his body always betrayed him. But I can't wait for too long. I don't want to wait anymore. Alright, think. If a mountain won't come to me, I have to go to the mountain. There's always something I can do. Finally, a content smile curled his lips as a plan formed in his mind. He closed the box and hid it back into the drawer for now, before he rushed to get his phone to call every food and flower delivery service he knew about in the close vicinity. After all, good things come to those who don't wait around. If the universe refused to give him a chance, he was just going to create the opportunity himself. The street was surprisingly packed for a workday as Enoshita made his way through the town, heading to the somewhat fancier shops a few blocks away from their flat. He wasn't entirely sure why exactly he was doing what he was doing, but the words of his mentor resonating in his head pushed his legs moving forward. If you are so anxious about not getting proposed to, why don't you propose yourself? There are no rules on who has to buy the ring first, right? It was true. Even if they were a straight couple, societal rules be damned. Though now, as he slowly reached his destination, a small but well-reviewed jewelry store near the town center, doubts about his decision started to gnaw on his mind again. What if he doesn't want to get engaged? With his family history, maybe he doesn't want to be bound to anyone in case it didn't work out. What if he gets upset because we didn't talk about it beforehand? What if... He flinched when a car horn honked right next to him, his heart jumping into his throat when he realized how close he was to not only not getting any proposal soon, but also ending up in a hospital. If he got lucky. He apologized to the driver and rushed across the street, his hand trembling ever so slightly as he pushed the door open. Though if it was because of the close call with the car or his nerves, he wasn't sure. Perhaps both. The jeweler smiled sweetly at him the moment he entered. Welcome, sir. What can we help you with? Taking a shaky breath, Enoshita clenched his fists, determination to see his plan to the end, sweet or bitter, settled on his mind. Can I take a look at your engagement rings? I'm looking for something for my partner. Oh, certainly. Please follow me. I'm sure we will find a ring you'll both love. Let's start with the band. Do you know your partner's metal preferences? Enoshita quickly dug around his memory for an indication of Tanaka's jewelry preferences as the man carefully wrote everything down, nodding a few times before putting a tray of rings in front of him. These are the best quality gems we offer in your price range. Tell me if any of those catch your eye. If not, we can always make a custom one for you. That won't be necessary. I think I know which one. His pocket felt heavy the whole way home, same as his head. The ring he chose was beautiful, no doubt about that, and the gem represented everything he wanted to say to the love of his life. Yet he couldn't keep his heartbeat from racing as he opened the door of their flat. It's fine. He never said he doesn't want to get married either. It will be fine. Then he froze mid-step when the mix of scents hit his nose. He couldn't tell all of them apart, but there was food for sure, together with some scented candles. Ryu? What's... He didn't get further before Tanaka blocked his path, a visibly excited grin resting on his face. Hey, welcome back. Close your eyes before you go in, would you? But why? What's going on? A soft kiss landed on his lips. You'll see. Now give me your hand and close your eyes, okay? Confused but trusting Tanaka with his life, Enoshita closed his eyes and entwined their fingers together, letting himself be led further into the flat. Okay, you can take a look. He did, and then his breath hitched in his throat at the sight that opened in front of him. The table was full of plates and bowls with all kinds of food, from rice and vegetables to meat and sushi, and 2 big bowls of ramen waiting at each of their respective sitting places. Perhaps every free surface around the living room was decorated with lit candles and flowers, mostly his beloved tulips. A pair of strong arms wrapped around his waist. Do you like it? It's beautiful. You did all that? Yep. I mean, I didn't cook everything, but it's all from the places you like. Enoshita was rendered speechless. Why? Why not? You deserve a treat once in a while. And since you won't let me take you out, I created a romantic evening for you here. Barely holding back from throwing himself around Tanaka's neck, Enoshita returned the kiss from a while ago, blinking to chase away the mist from his eyes. The timing was almost perfect, as if the universe itself was telling him to go ahead with the proposal as soon as possible. He couldn't possibly miss a chance like that, right? Thank you. It's amazing. Then let's eat. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. They settled to the table, the light conversation flowing unobstructed between them as they no less than feasted on the delicious food. There was no tension hanging over them, no worries or regrets, just like when they went out to eat together in high school. Though this was much more intimate, more romantic. The plates were almost empty already when Enoshita squeezed the little box in his hand and took one last deep breath to settle his nerves. Ryu, I wanted to... They both stopped and Tanaka chuckled. Sorry, you go ahead. Okay, I wanted to ask you something. I know we didn't really talk about this, but I thought it could be a good time. He put the open box on the table, his hand and voice trembling as the ring came into sight, glimmering in the light of candles. Will you marry me? Tanaka stared at him for a long moment in silence, and then burst out laughing. The sound Enoshita usually loved so much, now tearing his heart apart. Was the proposal from him really such a bad idea it made his boyfriend laugh? But why? He lowered his gaze to the table, his throat closing and tears of regret stinging in his eyes. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked. He was about to get up when a strong yet gentle grip on his hand stopped him. Wait, please. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you, but at the coincidence. Baffled, Enoshita looked up again, the words getting stuck in his throat when Tanaka pushed a little box towards him, in which rested an almost identical ring to the one he bought, the silver band and light blue gem shimmering in the light of the many tiny flames. If you say yours is also with blue topaz, I might laugh again. It is. True to his word, Tanaka chuckled softly, and Enoshita found himself smiling too. Blue topaz, meaning healing, loyalty, and eternal love, set in a ring meant to be the first step in sealing their relationship forever. Pretty fitting. If I ever need to prove that you're my soulmate, I'll bring up this. I suppose I can take this as a yes. Tanaka gave him one of his knee-weakening smiles, and then reached for his hand, carefully sliding the ring on his finger. 1,000 times yes, my love. Overwhelmed with the current development, Enoshita dried his eyes and followed suit, laying his hand next to Tanaka's to admire the matching rings and their full beauty. Tanaka seemed to have a different idea though, as he tugged on Enoshita's hand to lead him around the table before he pulled him on his lap and hugged him tightly. And Enoshita could melt there and then. How long have you been planning this? The dinner? Since today. Proposal I planned since we went on that Halloween vacation, but something always got in the way. But hey, at least we have a funny story to put into our vows, huh? Enoshita teared up again, this time from happiness, and hid his face in Tanaka's shoulder. Yeah, we have. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. As usual with my writing, this wasn't how it was supposed to go at first. I mean, I did plan Enoshita taking over the proposal, but that was back then when Tanaka was still in hospital. Yes, I was planning the proposal for a long time. However, I just got this idea that if the two of them proposed at the same time, it could be funny, so I hope it was funny, at least a little bit. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time.